Hi, my name is Alan Russell, and this is FTT 100 Introduction to Firearms Week 8. And today is September 23rd, 2025. So, the weapon that I'm going to be talking about today is PSA Dagger. This is manufactured by Palmetto State Armory, and it is a Glock 19 clone. Uh, I was unable to determine the actual manufacturer date. PSA does not publicly release manufacturer dates that correlate to serial numbers. I do know, however, that they released this firearm early in 2021, and I purchased it mid 2022. So, yeah, obviously, prior to June of 2022 when I bought the handgun. So, um, it's a semi-automatic striker-fired lock breech weapon. It has a double action trigger with the integrated safety trigger. Um, it also has a detachable box magazine. Um, it uses as I said, it's a semi-automatic striker-fired handgun. Uses a short recoil locked breech system, which is also used in obviously the Glock pistols because that's what it's patterned off of. Semi-automatic just means that it fires one round with each every time you pull the trigger. Um, striker fire means it has an internal striker and not a hammer. That's what's used to ignite the primer. Right? And first, I am going to lock this back, pull this out, and you can see there's nothing in the magazine there. I'm going to lay that right here. I'm going to check the magazine, and here the weapon is clear. All right. Um, there's nothing in my work area here that could be presented as a danger. No ammunition, no extraneous um, firearms or anything like that. You can see there's nothing in the chamber here. So, all right, next. Um, we're going to talk about real quickly the cycle of operation. Um, when you're firing this pistol, I'm going to just demonstrate. When you're firing the pistol and you pull the trigger back, and it's going to fire. When it fires it, as the trigger's pulled back, it completes the cocking of the striker and releases it. This is a partially cocked system, so the striker is going to move forward and impact the primer. That's going to ignite the propellant. That's going to fire the projectile. Then, when that happens, the barrel and the slide are going to move backwards at the same time, like that. As they begin to recoil backwards, there's a locking lug in here. It's going to disengage from the locking lug, which unlocks them, right? Um, Next, the extraction. Um, Also, as this pulls back, the extraction lever right here, I don't know if you can see that, but there's an extraction lever right here. It's going to hook on the spent cartridge and pull it from the chamber, pull it out of the chamber up here. After that spent cartridge clears the chamber, it's going to eject it. The ejector pin is going to strike it from this side, going that way, and throw it out of the ejection port. Right. Next, the rearward motion also partially cocks the striker, moves it to a partially cocked position, which makes it ready for the next shot. Right. Additionally, there is a recoil spring in here, and in here, and that's going to compress the recoil spring. So when that rear motion is done, and that recoil spring is going to start to expand, which is going to pull that slide forward like that. All right. During the forward motion, the bolt face engages the next cartridge that's going to be in the magazine on the very top of the magazine, and it's going to pull it up and up the slide in from the feed lips, and it's going to pull it up the slide, right? And it's going to feed it. Once it pulls it up the slide, it's going to chamber the round up the ramp and up the feed ramp and into the chamber. And then the barrel is going to complete the forward motion, and the barrel locking lug is going to rise up again and slide into the back into the slide ejection port, which is again going to lock the barrel and the slide together, right? And that completes the cycle of operations, right? All right. Next, we'll go real quickly through here and field strip this. And what we're going to do, we're going to grasp the slide and move it rearward until this takedown notch is, you can pull it down, and then you're going to have to pull the trigger and push it forward, right? Remove the slide from the receiver, right? I'm going to lay the receiver here, and then place it on, just put it on the work table there. So once next I'm going to remove the recoil springs. I'm going to push the recoil spring, the guide rod recoil spring forward just a little bit and lift it up and pull it out. And I'm going to lay that over there. All right. Then on this particular one, I've got to take this, because it's got a threaded barrel, I've got to take this off the barrel. I'll lay that over there. Next, I'm going to remove the barrel. Just lift it up a little bit and slide it back till the barrel comes out of the slide. Lay it right there, and now you have the slide itself. And that's completely field stripped. All right. The parts of this pistol are the frame or the receiver, the slide assembly right here. All right. The barrel, which is right here, the recoil spring or the guide rod assembly right here, and of course the magazine. And in this particular case, you got this, because I don't have a suppressor on here, it's just got this bezel that goes on there to protect the threads on the barrel. Right? The next part of this is going to be cleaning this weapon. All right. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get, where's my brush here? Here it is. I'm going to get my brush here, and I'm going to take some carbon destroyer that SDI sent me. I'm going to put a little bit right here and right here and right down here. All right. And I'm going to let that sit there for a minute. I'm going to put a little bit on the guide rod here and let that soak for a couple minutes while we're doing this. And next, I'm going to show you here on the barrel. I'm not sure how dirty this is, and I'm going to try to run it through the barrel dry first to see what we get. Let's see here. Sometimes I run this through here like this, see if anything comes off on it. Not a lot there, so let's do this. I'm going to run this rod through there a little bit and then run it through there again and see if it picks up anything. And you can see, hopefully you can see, there's a little bit of dirt on that cloth. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of this on the cloth, the carbon destroyer on the cloth. and run it through the barrel again several times while I'm turning it. All right, take that off, put a new one on here. All right, one more time through as we turn it. And as you can see, that's pretty clean. It's not a lot of dirt on that anymore. So very little dirt on that. So next we'll set the barrel right here by itself. I'm going to put a little bit of this carbon destroyer in here and let that set for a few minutes while I take my brush here to this pistol here. Go down in here and clean all this up real well. What this class did do is allow me to go to the range. I didn't have to convince my wife that I needed to go to the range to shoot, because I told her I needed it for the class. So that was kind of a nice side product there. All right, and I'm going to clean the guide rod here. Just clean it up with this brush while I'm turning it. All right, and then I'm going to clean the slide in here. Clean this out real good. Okay, and I'm going to take this cloth and just wipe that out. You can see all the dirt that come out of there. I'm going to use a bunch more of these generic ones here because they're cheaper than, and just go in here like this and clean this up. How's it looking there? That looks pretty good. I'm going to take this now and guide rod and just wipe it down a little bit. Just to clean off that stuff that we put on there. And finally, I'm going to take the receiver and wipe that down. Get all the gunk out of there. Okay, wipe down here by the trigger a little bit, clean all that up good. You can see how dirty that was. I don't know if you can or not, but it was pretty dirty. There's, so, okay, now then, we're going to take this and we're going to put a little bit of the Spartan oil in here, very sparingly. Just a drop right down there, and maybe a drop or two up here. All right, and get a little drop in each one of these slides right here. All right, now in this I'm going to put just a drop right here, and then I'm going to pull the striker back just to kind of work that in a little bit. This is a Spartan Accuracy oil, just to lubricate, just a little bit. Get that in there. Then I'm going to clean it up Get all the excess out of there. I think that should do it, actually. All right. And I'm just going to look everything over again. It looks pretty clean. And wipe up any excess oil here. Don't want stuff running out of there. That looks pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Maybe I'll put just a drop or two of the oil right here and work that in a little bit like this. There we go. Anyway, all right. Next, I'm going to put it back together in the opposite order that we took it apart. First, I'm going to take the barrel and slide that in place. I'm going to put this bezel on the end of the barrel to protect the threads on that barrel. And I just snug it up finger tight. Then I'm going to take the guide rod, put that in place, push it forward and lock it in place there. All right. Next, I'm going to line up the slots right here. Pull this back, and the firearm is reassembled. I'm going to lock this back, and you can see the weapon is clear. All right. So this is a schematic of the weapon from firearmsguide.com, and at the bottom of this page you'll see the link to the firearm manual at Palmetto State Armory.